Okay, interesting. So I attended a star event and then I had the opportunity to share this with the founders there as well. And apparently I find that people love it. First is the price, definitely. And then second is the speed. And I received a lot of some of the feedback saying that asking me when I'm gonna launch it, and then would they able to give them a free trial, which I do right now. If you sign up, I give you 2 credits to generate 2 reports. And that night itself, a few founders come to me and then it triggers me to launch it a day ago actually. Yeah, so and apparently people love it. My website crashes on the first day of launching it, and then yeah, the
So I'm Audrey here, and we are here in another episode of the TheMiniCEO podcast. So today we have our guest, Ethan, and he's building his AI startup. I think he just launched a few days ago, and I'm excited to share with you, share with you what his journey is like from building this AI startup. So welcome, Ethan, to our podcast.
Hi, happy to be here. Yeah, Audrey. So hi, my name is Ethan. So I recently just launched a startup tool, AI tools, Smalt AI, mainly doing market research side and some consulting reports. So it automates the whole process, and then it allows the consumer or the businesses to access to informations, market insights, and things like that with a cheaper price, and then with a shorter time as well. Yeah.
Right, that's cool. So can you tell us more about who's the user, how does it work? And I think basically start with the problem that you were trying to solve that the market isn't solving yet, that you come up with this solution.
Right. So the idea of me to have this tool is that I attended one of the startup pitching sessions. And then after the sessions, they are talking about their market research, their problem they want to solve, their addressable market, and then their valuation, of course, right? They're asking for investor. So after that, the founders come and talk to me, and then we have some chit chat with some of the founders there at that time. So to give you a background, I myself is a consultant in both for mainly on the private sectors and some of the public sector work as well. So I can see how the information is useful for the startups, especially during that time. So this was around 2 years ago, and when ChatGPT just launched and things like that, I have the idea to building this tool. But that time, I believe the tech is not really mature yet in a sense. And then after eventually these 2 years, we all know how tech evolved, right? And then just very fast. And then now the tech is there, everything is mature, and I have some time to do that as well. So that's how that's the story of me to build this tool. So how this tool works is that we understand that, for example, a startup or any businesses would like to understand more about a particular industry in a particular market. So for example, black soldier fly in Malaysia, right? It's a quite a niche market. So my platform will able to for you to choose what kind of industry that you want to look at, which market you want to look at. Just simply by giving this information and click a button, you wait around 5 to 10 minutes, depends on your internet speed. You get a full report of your global landscape, local market landscape, legal analysis, what are the relevance law that apply to you, and competitor landscape, estimated market share as well, what are their USP for each of the competitors in the market, the future development of the market as well. And if you choose to have the market entry reports, you get a recommendation as well. So, and some pestle and SWOT analysis as well based on the market that you choose. So everything will be done within 10 minutes, and the cost is maybe 10% of a traditional way of doing a consulting job. So I myself from a consulting background, I understand the struggles of people when talk about consulting. The first thing is it costs a bomb, right? And it takes quite 1 month maybe or 2 months, but sometimes the businesses don't have the time, in short, right? So everything what I offer can be done in affordable price and shorter period of time.
That's so cool. So I know you talk about the market research, Black Soldier Fly. That is like the startup. I think the founder, one of her, she's a Yanni, I think, Black
Okay.
Soldier Fly. So I think she's kind of like my idol. I saw her in a few pitching session, and she's so great at it, and she won a few awards.
Yep.
And you mentioned that. So so speaking of which, market research, right? I have a tough time doing that for my pitch deck because as a startup founder, you need to do your market sizing.
Yes.
And there comes down to the TAM, SAM, SOM
Yes.
that I need to do. I do the top-down approach, the bottom-up approach, but I always stuck at, because we're startups, we're building something that the market doesn't exist, have the product that
You're right.
exists yet.
Yes.
So for example, like mine is Smalt AI that we are building. And we are, so basically I want to share more of it. Is like, so I wanted to challenge you.
Sure.
Tell me if my startup should use a top-down approach or bottom-up approach, and how should I make that assumption and do my pitch deck. So, okay, I'll start like this. So I'm gonna tell you, as a consultant, you're listening to my business. So we take this as a use case, right?
Sure.
So I'm gonna ask you, okay, I'm a AI startup founder.
Sure.
My business is that I'm building this AI digital twin to help software developer capture their thought process when writing code.
Sure.
So how can I do my TAM, SAM, SOM based on my product that hasn't existed in the market yet? Do you need more information from me?
Perhaps from the high level understanding from what you have shared, I can give some high level approach as well. Okay, so give me a consulting talk here, yes.
Okay.
Right. So like Randy pointed out, there's a top down or bottom up approach, right?
Yes.
So I'm sure that when you build all this, like you mentioned just now, I can identify your target is developers, right? We target developers. So in terms of doing market sizing, you can do a bottom up approach, of course, and top down approach. But bottom up approach is that you have to identify how many developers in your target market. For example, in Malaysia, we do a high.
So
Yep.
example, there's 180,000 developers in Malaysia.
Yep. Then how many of them? So for bottom up, perhaps you can do a survey to understand perhaps the sample size we look at. If 180, I'm looking at around maybe 300 sample size, 350 sample size to make it a credible analysis. So if you look at that, then we in the survey we ask, are you do they face these challenges in their work? I'm sure they do. I myself a developer, I do. And then are they willing to use a tool to solve this problem? The willingness to use the tool, adoption rate in a way. And last is how much they're willing to pay.
Right.
So from there you can see the idea is you have big size, 100,000+ people who are willing to use and pay. Use first. Maybe we can cut maybe only 10% of them, or maybe 50% willing to use it, of course, without the price. And how much they're willing to pay. When you come to pay the time is, I think from there you can get first you can get a market size, definitely. From there, and then with the price they willing to pay, you can get an approximate revenue from there. So that is the bottom-up approach, which is a better approach, I would say.
Right.
But when you go from top-down approach, of course you can reach about the market research report out there and things like that. But to be fair, how accurate that can be because it's still top-down, right?
Yeah.
But some of these things is we talk about dollar and cent, they're really out of the developer's pocket. My suggestion is bottom-up definitely will be a better way.
Right.
But yeah, but that takes different kind of effort, different level of effort. You make more effort and more investment as well. You talk to people and then get survey done.
Exactly.
But my tool is doing is top down approach in a way. It's a way that to give you an idea what is happening in the market. For example, Black Soldier Fly in Malaysia, you have BioLoop company there. You have different companies. What are they doing? How much are they producing? And who are the stakeholders that you have to aware of in the market and things like that. So, yeah.
That's so cool. So I want to spill the beans how I do my bottom-up approach of it. It's so funny that, okay, for example, how much I'm charging the user per seat, right? And then out times 12 months because it's a monthly subscription base. So the price per seat times 12 months times how many companies I'm targeting times how many person, like 5% from that company will use, and equals to the SOM, SOM that I'm getting per year or within that 3 to 5 years, and say that I'm a unicorn company by then. It's like I don't even trust my numbers. So how does your tool can help founders like us?
I would say that that is a second steps for that. My tool, it gives the first step. Before you start the idea, for example, before you even start this idea, my tool will give you the idea of how this market will look like, and what are the people are doing, and how you can position yourself to have your unique space in the market. So from what you are doing, basically it's a bottom-up approach. We don't talk about the calculation or whatever, but it's not about the approach itself. It's based on my understanding and experience with consulting. You can't take that away from consulting firm and market research firm, because it's really, you have to do the survey and then you get quality sample size as well. Those are things that you can't take away from them. But what my tool is mainly, it gives you the idea of it to understanding. But sometimes what businesses or startup needs is that they don't need a concrete answer. They just need an idea how it looks like, and understanding of that.
Yeah.
So that gives this. That's my tool comes in to help you.
Right. That is so cool. And then what's the second step?
The second step is, so first step, you have the idea. You want to go in, for example, you want to do digital twins, right? Go into Singapore, for example. My tools will give you the idea who are going to do it. Basically, how's the market looks like, and that is just the first step. But if you want to really enter into the market itself, then it's really, I believe this is what AI can't really do. Is where the human interaction has to comes in. The human consulting. If you approach me, a human consultant comes in to customize the report for you in that sense, because you have to understand more deeper context, right? So your network, for example, your company, your team, your network for example, in Singapore, and if you have an investor, how your investor can able to help you to get into the market and things like that. So it's a different strategy and different context for a different company. So I would believe that AI wouldn't reach that stage yet at this moment to do that for company.
Right. So you are saying that if I want to penetrate to Singapore,
Yep.
that's the market research that
Yes.
a human still needs to come in and assess for your business thoroughly.
The market research can do, but I thought about the implementation itself that really
Right.
get into the market.
And the execution part.
The execution part, yes. If you want just to understand the market, the info, which AI can help definitely.
Right.
But the execution part, I'm talking about the execution action plan itself, where but more things have to take into consideration. Who are the people that are doing it, their capability as well, and those are things that I believe that the current AI can't provide.
Right. Okay, that's so cool. So tell us a little bit more about the journey. What makes you decide to launch it 2 days ago?
Okay, interesting. So I attended a star event, and then I had the opportunity to share this with the founders there as well. And apparently I find that people love it. First is the price, definitely. And then second is the speed. And I received a lot of some of the feedback saying that asking me when I'm gonna launch it, and then would they able to give them a free trial, which I do right now. If you sign up, I give you 2 credits to generate 2 reports. And that night itself, a few founders come to me, and then it triggers me to launch it a day ago actually. Yeah, so. And apparently people love it. My website crashes on the first day of launching it. And then people are signing up and then using my tools. Yeah, happy for that.
That's so cool. So what makes the website crash? Was it too much traffic?
Yeah, it's too much traffic for that.
Wow.
What happens, and my hosting plan, I have to look into my hosting plan and to
Right.
upgrade that. Yeah.
That's so cool. So talking about which pricing,
Yeah.
can you share with us or the audience here a little bit more about how you're gonna charge? Like what's the because we are startup, we
Yep.
don't charge like consultants do.
Yes.
So and you're fighting with the consultant with your cheap pricing, is that?
Yes.
Tell us a little bit more about that.
The pricing right now is looking at 1,000 USD for one report itself. Actually, we offer two reports. I think just now you talked about the market research side, but talk about the other tools that we are offering is a valuation tool. That one is more catered for more established businesses where you provide the 5 years data for us. We'll analyze your financial health and we'll run a valuation model and then to give you a final answer that is in a range how much your company worth in terms of valuation in total. So market research report and the financial valuation report, 1,000 USD each. But of course, now it's just launching. If people come to me, of course I'll give discount and things like that. Of course we can discuss. And there is for the SMEs. And actually this is something when I develop this, I'm thinking SMEs can direct benefits from there with affordable price. But I'm thinking how these two can help the professional services like consultants, market researchers to do their job faster in a way. Because one of the common questions that people ask me is that if can ChatGPT do what you're doing, right? Can deep research do what you're doing, right? So the ChatGPT cannot do what I'm doing simply because I provide the in-text citation and the sources, everything as well. So and everything is real-time internet source data. And then compared to deep research is that of course you can prompt this research in a way to do that, but it takes a longer time. I believe ChatGPT takes around 30 minutes to generate the reports, or it's very short time. But everything for my report it takes about I mentioned 10 minutes. And what's something a bit technical here about my tool is that it's not based on one model itself. So how we develop the tool is that there'll be one AI that mainly source the what is it called, the information online, and then they will process it with their AI model first, and then it pass it to my system. My system there's two models there as well to process the same information at the same time and then combine it together to give you output.
That's so cool.
So it takes it's not rely on one source and things like that. People will say bias, things like that. So but this is how we structure it, and then so this is how we're doing it.
That's so cool. So speaking of which, just now we are comparing the price with your startup and consultants. So what about the human touch of it? Would you provide like customized consultation or things like that yourself?
I work with a team, and the team will be doing that. They are from consulting firm. Previously they was a consulting firm, but now they are not there anymore. And I have a team that doing that, specializing in doing that consulting. And those are from the big names that you name it in the market.
Yeah. Okay, that's cool. So tell us more about the features that you have currently when you launch your AI tools called Smalt AI, right? So within that, how many features are there?
My feature is more on the report itself. The report, what are the topics that it covers?
Right.
So at first it's a global landscape, local market landscape, and segmentation and things like that. Those are I would say, information that valuable for the business. And we based on our experience and my team experience in consulting, and we believe that this kind of information is common in the market research report, where we think that businesses would love to have that to understand what are contexts they are having right now. So but in the future, there'll be more features adding in. I'm looking into to have the still within one click. You give me the necessary information. Instead, you have one PDF with all text. You receive executive summary in PowerPoint as well, with design and everything, and then with summarization. So those are the features that are working on it. And
Right, so cool. So with one click, so currently your tool, do you need to prompt it to tell you what market research is supposed to give you the report with, or how do you use it?
Basically, it's just for a user, it's just to click. But for me as a developer, everything is already in a structured way behind that. I configure it myself. I develop it myself and train a model. to answer to generate the report, not to say answer, but generate report in a consulting way, put it that way. So everything is built by consultant, and yeah.
Wow, that's so cool. So your journey here is that you are like a one-man show, a solopreneur that built this from scratch yourself. How did that journey go for you?
It's definitely not easy. Put it that way. I have a full-time job as a consultant, and I built this, and I'm studying MBA as well.
That's crazy.
Yes. But I believe it's a passion that drives you. So yeah. I'm not encouraging everyone to do that, but yeah.
Right. So how long does it take you with
About
this? Yeah.
from scratch itself, about 6 months. I would say 6 months. But it really from scratch, front end, back end, database setup and everything, and then get the AI in and things like that, integrate with a lot of other features, and yeah, so everything from scratch. Yeah.
Crazy. So how that when you say something drives you to do this, like your passion, so where did this passion come from?
Right?
Yeah.
I think it's always within me that I think since uni days I've been starting some. I started my first company at 20, in 20. It's apps, and then that time pre-COVID, and then with my friends, and then we start doing that, and then it fails, and then along the way I started few things as well, and then but I settled down a bit during my time as a consultant. It's really quite a busy job. Then recently, yeah, the AI frenzy hits and the trends, everything, and then I'll say, why not I give it a shot as well, because I myself as a consultant, I understand the pain point, and I understand that how these tools can help me to solve my pain point.
Right. And you were a developer as well.
Yes,
before.
I'm a com science student, major in data. So yeah, I know how to code as well. And then, but of course, after 4 5 years not touching any coding at all, I had to learn from zero again. So it takes some effort as well. Yeah.
Right. That's so cool. So when you talk about the AI frenzy thing, like it just like hit the market with all these AI tools, and ha- did you just decide to just try it, or you come up with a solution first, or you were just testing with AI first, then only jump into, oh, I wanted to build something with AI? How does that sequence comes first?
Okay, it started 2 to 3 years ago when ChatGPT just launched it. At the time, I built a chat aggregator, AI aggregator, something like Poe. It's a platform where you can interact with different LLM models at that time. And that's why I even explored to train the model myself as well, and then to train the model as well with external data. And then I think one of the tech is called RAG, which is you extract the information from the PDF. I think a lot of us are doing that. You can talk to the PDF at that time. I think I started 2 3 years ago, and I already into that already. So, but then it takes me a little bit more time to understand further the application of AI. I think the tech is there, the AI is there. It's how you explore the application to use that AI in any industry.
Right. So for someone who are just starting out, who have no experience in AI, or maybe a little bit of coding, not so much, and how would you advise the person to start? Like, where should the person start learning, or maybe like Coursera, or anything that you would suggest the person to learn about AI?
I would say that the fastest way to learn is to build a project yourself. To have an idea what you want, you envision what you want to build. A simple project we do, maybe a timesheet or a notebook thing we'll do. And then I'm pretty sure there are tutorial outside on YouTube and things like that you can learn. They're step by step guided, and then they even share the source code as well. Then from there you learn from the project itself rather than to learn the syntax and everything from scratch. That will work, but I would say the fastest way to learn from project. Yeah.
Right. Yes. Okay. That makes sense. But if someone doesn't know what project to start, then how would they start, right? That is also a thing challenge that they find. So I think that Yeah, coming to this, with this advancement of AI, what do you think the market would look like? Like, would there be more AI startups coming up, or things like that? What do you see this trend? Because you started ChatGPT since like 3 years ago, using it. Then what happened now on in the future?
Definitely, there are more AI startups that they'll be popping up. But be careful of those AI startups as well because sometimes it can be $1 million solution that you're building, but next day OpenAI launch a similar stuff that you're building, then you're done. It happens to me 2 3 years ago actually, where I able to actually during the time I already able to I have my way to let ChatGPT have internet access. But the time then Perplexity launch.
Yeah.
Then it just gone. I think my the whole architecture is similar as Perplexity, but of course I didn't have the funding to push forwards and everything. Um, AI startups will come more in the future. I mean as of now as well, because there are more application, a lot of empty spaces out there that you can tap into. Talk about AI agents, and then where I think AI agents will be a big industry in the future. And not about future, but in short term, 2 or 3 years time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think it's less than that. I think in this within this year, I think it will flood the market. I think in the market right now, everyone's talking about AI agent. When you turn on your LinkedIn, your wherever, it's just all these newsletter that people sending is all about AI agents.
Yeah.
But I wanted to also ask like something along the line um, when you mentioned just now, like 2 3 years ago, that your startup was like the new the big tech or the incumbents companies who just launched something, then we were just flooded, like people use ChatGPT rather than AI startups tools, right? So talking about this is like a mode that AI startup need to build. So what are the mode that we can build, right, to not be flooded by all these big tech solutions that the
I
market
think there's
use?
one thing that had to bear in mind for all the AI startups is that even for myself, I always tell myself is that we can't assume that OpenAI doing nothing. They are advancing and then they are building a lot of cool stuff there. Just be careful. I mean, just to be aware that if your startups or the tools that really just build on top of ChatGPT and provide a little bit of value on top of that, then you might be careful a bit because maybe next month they'll able to get you out
Exactly.
here. So
I'm suspecting that maybe ChatGPT 5.0 is already there, but they not launch it. Who knows, right?
Yeah.
Because they are just launching ChatGPT 4.5,
yes,
and Claude just launching 3.7.
haven't saw that. Yes.
But who knows that they already have the AI labs who already research on emotion, memory, long form memory, whoever.
So
right?
I think here it comes to play that the customization, where what are values you add on top of AI itself. So, for example, coding twins, right? Developers will understand the pain point, right? So instead, so the solution have to be really solving the pain point itself, that people will want to use it. So the value add on top of that. So they're really solving the problem. So like myself is that I combine AI with consulting, which I don't think OpenAI is going to that direction at the moment. So yeah.
I think we call this kind of the startup like vertical AI,
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so coming to this is that as a founder yourself, would you transition like from how's your work life is like your work life balance, because you mentioned that you're working and then you're building this, you're studying MBA, what else? I don't know what else you're doing. But how are you going to balance your life and not to burn yourself out?
It's a very interesting question. I think most of the startup founders burn themselves out. I think you yourself as well, I'm pretty sure. Work-life balance is it's a myth for startups, I would say. You have to, I think everything comes with a price, right? So if you're ready to do that, perhaps that's the price you have to pay.
Right. And I believe that it's worth it. That's why we are doing this, right? Okay. Moving on, I like to ask, as a startup founder, what is your ask or basically your challenge that you face in your journey? I know it's just a very short 6 months. What's gonna come in the next year? How long can you sustain in the next year? What are your challenges, like funding or need to grow your team first, or need another co-founder? What's your challenge?
I think mainly two challenges that I'm facing. One is business. It's not about funding. Product is there, already there, and then the problem is to get people use that. I think it's a challenge faced by all the startups there. You have a fantastic tool. You can claim that you're better than OpenAI, but no one using that is nothing. It's the people that are using. My ask is the first thing is more people use my tool.
More users.
Right? More users, definitely. And second is definitely the team. I would say you have to find a team that have the same motivation as you know, that believe in your dream and willing to drive that with you. Is definitely hard. And then, of course, we want talented people as well, right?
Exactly.
So, and then with that in Malaysia, it's very hard to get talented people in a certain way.
So maybe talk a bit more. Are you looking for a co-founder or a team who can grow this?
I'm open to co-founders or team members to do that. As long as the people that share the same vision, same drives, and then do that as well.
Right. So, okay. And so looking for a team, looking for users. So is that your ask? Like,
yep.
Okay, so today we're here on the TheMiniCEO podcast. So coming to this, and I would always ask founders, what support do you need for your startup? So what's your ask to the audience?
Back to my first thing is use my tool.
How can they find you?
They can go to smaltai.com. Pricing can share the link as well. So the smaltai.com, and then the tool is there. You can just sign up, and then now I'm giving out 2 free credits for users who sign up. So yeah.
Okay, cool. Is there any other ask?
I think that will be because I'm not really looking for funding at the moment because I do everything myself. So I want to say it's just the business.
Okay, cool. And if they want to collaborate with you,
sure.
or maybe test it out how
sure.
it would be like to work with you,
sure.
Where can they find you?
Sure.
Where can they find you? On your LinkedIn?
On my LinkedIn, definitely open. I spend more time on LinkedIn than any other social media. So.
Okay, that's great. Same to me as well. All right. Thank you so much, Ethan, again for joining us on this TheMiniCEO podcast episode. So thank you so much.
Thank you for your time as well. Happy to be here.